Hey everybody, Flying Scorpion here, and welcome to my September 2024 monthly maintenance video for this YouTube channel. As you can tell from the background here, we're talking about Warframe, been getting back into it lately. And the first thing I want to talk about is that every time I come back to Warframe, I know that I'm in for a lot of patch notes to catch up on. Digital Extremes is one of the most productive gaming studios out there. They are blowing their competition out of the water in terms of productive output. What Digital Extremes does over the span of 3 years, how much content they produce, how many new enemies they add, or weapons, or characters you can play, or going back and rebalancing things, or polishing things, visual upgrades, new skins that you can get, new levels, new game modes, new storyline content, all the stuff that they produce. What they produce in 3 months for a free-to-play game is more than what I've seen other game development studios produce over the span of literally fucking years. And these are game studios that charge a monthly subscription. And I kind of weigh it out. I'm like, I'm paying if I pay $20 a month for this, and they produce like this much per month or per year, and I can play this game for free, and they produce like a metric shit ton of content every year, it's a no-brainer. Like, it is a no-brainer why Warframe has been consistently one of the most played games on the Steam charts for like the past 10 years. I don't know if it's been all the way back to 10 years, but they've been doing very well for a long time. I saw a statistic one year, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that Digital Extremes generated $600 million in revenue. They deserve it. They deserve it. So, we get a little bit of energy here. There we go. So yeah, when I come back to the game, I know that there's going to be a lot of patch notes and a ton of stuff to catch up on. And this time, I've been gone for so long, and ever since Rebecca has become the new creative director for the game, with Pablo as her right-hand man, the amount of stuff to catch up on was just overwhelming. So there's probably I know there's things that have fallen between the cracks that I don't know about coming back to the game. So I've gone from being somebody who knows like almost everything, like all the weapons, all the things, to now there's like every once in a while I see something and I go, oh shit, I didn't even know about that. But anyway, there's a few things that really stuck out to me. So I'll start kind of in reverse order on these 3 things here. They made it so that when you get 10 cold stacks on an enemy, they completely freeze solid. This is awesome. This is something that I've wanted for years. I'm glad that they finally did it. Now it makes Frost a lot better. Frost synergizes with the new status effects, and the the Glaxion weapon is really good now. They also added a new mod specifically for the Glaxion. I'll show it to you here. Photon Overcharge. Basically, if you get 10 cold stacks on an enemy, you freeze an enemy solid, there's a 20% chance that they will drop an energy orb when they die. And it doesn't even have to be you being the one that kills them. It can be an assist. So you could freeze enemy solid, and then a teammate can kill that enemy, and then 20% chance to drop an energy orb. This is a big deal because it really helps with energy economy for Warframe builds that are like energy hungry. And if you look in the background here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, I'm slowly losing energy here in the background. This build I'm going to showcase is an energy hungry build. Let me just mute the microphone for a second. Okay, so they added a new version of the Glaxion. It's called the Tenic Glaxion. I'm holding it right now. You get that from killing Sisters of Parvos. This Glaxion works kind of like the Amprex or the Atomos or the Tord Incarnate form. It chains cold beams between enemies. You can freeze multiple enemies at a time. If you have punch through and you shoot into a pack of enemies, you're going to freeze pretty much all of them. So it's really good. I'm going to showcase this build now. This is an Equinox build that uses Gloom. I've made this build, like iterations of this build, over and over again over the years as I come back to the game, and I've never gotten it to the point where I'm like, ooh, that feels really good. Primarily because it runs out of energy too fast. But now that's not so much an issue. It also has a bit of a survivability issue because of the overguard making enemies immune to your abilities. So, but it's a pretty good build. If you take this on a build, your teammates will benefit to a large extent. It's still path viable. You can take it to end game content. It is still good. You just got to be careful. So yeah, we're gonna spawn some enemies here. Level 165 corrupted heavy gunners, and as you can see, they can't do shit. They can't hit me. They're basically stunned. It's kind of like, you know how people put Banshee Silence together with Gloom, and it stuns the enemies? It works the same way with Equinox when you have her MAME active. They're in this really long animation where they're not able to move here. And we'll just nuke them like that. Oh, I don't know if that's enough to kill them. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's like a radius on this thing. Wow, the pet's just doing work. We'll talk about the pet too, maybe. I didn't actually put it in the script to talk about the pet, but it's a pretty solid build. You know, one thing I forgot to do with this is to cast the second ability, which makes the enemies take like nearly double damage. So let's go ahead, spawn some more enemies. Do this. As expected, didn't kill them. Weaken them. This Tenet Glaxion that I have has impact damage as the progenitor, and that's to make it so that they're very easy to get the finishers lined up on them. There we go. So that's kind of the build. So you get to build set up where you have lots of power strength, you turn on your auras, you cycle the fourth aura on and off, and you nuke everybody at once. Do you want to see the build? Probably. Let me show you. All right, so first of all, we've got some Archon shards. This is, to some extent, this is just whatever you want. I went with the some ability strength. She does need this. I think this 45% ability strength is kind of important for the build. You could even go even more ability strength. I ended up going with energy and casting speed. And we're going to talk about, we're going to start with the Parazon mod. So an important mod is power drain. After you do a mercy kill on an enemy, you get 50% power strength on your next ability cast, and we use that to bump up the power strength of her abilities. And we're starting off at 140% power strength. Then what we do is we get a finisher on an enemy that gets us to 190%. Then we use our Xeneric Hardened Wellspring. That's when you pop into pop an operator and you do this. So while you're standing in this, you get 20% power strength. So that's another. So now we're up to 70% on top of 140, getting us up to 210. And then we shoot an enemy with our weapon, applying a status effect, because there's another 25%, so we're up to like 235% power strength. And you need to be at 250% to max out this aura right here, Pacify and Provoke, but we're at 235, which in my opinion is good enough. It's close enough. You turn this aura on, and you then have, I don't know, like 45% more power strength on top of what we just did. So you go from 235 to, what's 235 plus 45? 270. So we get up to about 270% power strength-ish. And you need to have 272% power strength to max out Gloom. We're almost there. We're like 2% short of it. 270 is good enough. We have pretty much damn near a 95% slow on all the enemies. Now, Gloom works really good on Equinox. I've tried Gloom in different slots, like over all these different areas, and I've landed on just putting it over the first ability slot, locking Equinox in day form, because having Gloom on Equinox while she's in night form is just super redundant. Like, it's just, if you want, you can have a 99% slow on the enemies, but I've tried it, I've done it, it's just like overkill at that point. So I just use it on day form. The big weakness with Equinox, like, she's a really fun warframe, but the big weakness is that you're either all in on defensive, like protecting yourself type of stuff where you're playing night form, or you're all in playing aggressively, high risk, high reward, doing tons of damage, day form, but you can't use day form abilities while in night form, and vice versa. So Gloom takes almost everything that's great about night form and allows you to access it while you're in day form. So using this on day form Equinox is just a very well-rounded, good defense, good damage, good crowd control, good support by giving your teammates power strength. It's just a good build overall. It gives you the total package. Now you can have your cake and eat it at the same time. So the problem with the build is that it just takes a lot of setting up. You need to, let me demonstrate to you right now. This is, in my opinion, it's not particularly, it's time consuming to set it up. So what you do is you find your enemies, you shoot them with your Galaxion. Why do we use the Galaxion? Well, I'll say in a second. You Mercy an enemy. You pop your Zeneric thing. You shoot an enemy again. Then you turn this on, and it's 47% ability strength. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to die. Finish another enemy. Keep that up. Shoot another one. There we go. That's it. We're up to, it doesn't say, it's pretty much 95% slow. So it's not like it's super duper hard to pull that off, but it is a bit finicky if you get downed, if you run out of energy, if you fall into a bottomless pit, or an acolyte spawns that silences you, or something like that. Your ability will turn off, and then you have to go through that whole process again, and it's a little bit of a finicky thing to do. But if you get everything set up, it's just a really strong build. So hopefully it makes sense why I use the Galaxion. It's because of the Photon Overcharge mod to get energy, because I just said if you run out of energy, that sucks. And also my Galaxion has impact damage as the progenitor type. I think I have to go right here, yeah. Impact damage. So impact procs bring enemies closer to being able to be finished. We'll talk about the pet build in a moment here, or right now, I guess. So I've been using this Headhunter pet a lot more lately. I've got both a shield and a health link build, and I just like it a lot because you can, what's the word I'm looking for here, use synth deconstruct, so it generates health orbs. That works very well with this this arcane blessing. I'm using arcane blessing a lot more lately because I found that lately I play a lot of shield health warframes, and toxic damage or anything that bypasses the shields kills them super quickly. When you do the new Elite Deep Archimedia, there's those little red gremlin guys from the Deviri Paradox that follow you around, and they have this constant health draining aura that goes right past your shields. And I was playing as Harrow doing an Elite Deep Archimedia, and every time those guys snuck up behind me and I didn't notice it, I would die like in half a second if they got to me. And when you're playing Harrow, you're very like tunnel vision, like zooming in, shooting enemies in the head, right? So yeah, I went down a lot and I realized I need to get more health. So I put together this build with synth deconstruct to generate the health orbs, and I just did the same trick that everybody does with like other pets. They use manifold bond. It works with any robotic pet, so that the pet can regenerate its abilities. And this pet uses this electric ball that shoots around, and it applies all the status effects to the enemies. I don't know if you caught that, but if you have your weapon set up like this one does, with look at all these status effects: gas, puncture, slash, radiation, magnetic, and plus I think the electric ball does electric as well, but that's a lot of status effects. It primes the enemies with loads of status effects, and all you got to do is kill an enemy with I think 5 status effects, 3 or more status effects. We're way beyond that, and it will regenerate this pet's ability, so it can just keep spamming that electric ball. And right up here, boost the owner's shields whenever it runs out. I think that's the first actual ability. Yeah, this is the first ability that shows up. So this is the primary thing that the pet will do. It will keep your shields up and it helps keep you alive. And then this just runs in the background. Enemies injured by the companion have a 25% chance to drop a health orb when killed. That's everything on the screen. That's every enemy in the room has some sort of status effect applied to it from this perspective, synergized prospectus, and you're getting health orbs left, right, and center. We've got Link Fiber, Link Vitality. This is for Link build, health builds. For shield builds, you run this. And yeah, okay, so it's good. All right, let's continue on here with the notes. The new pet build, Gloom Equinox. I've been playing with a Baruch build. Do I really want to talk about it? Sure, I'll put it up there. Here's the Baruch. I've been playing him more lately. I've always known that Baruch, it fits my play style, but I never really did invest much into him because I didn't like the way he looked, and also there wasn't a Prime variant. I got the Prime variant. I got the nice appearance for him through some Archon shards. You can just ignore this. I was playing around with the mecha mods and having him shoot and apply lots of toxic procs to the marked mecha enemy. If you don't know what those are, I'll just pull it up here. The companion marks an enemy, and when you kill that enemy, all the status effects on that enemy spread to all the other enemies in a pretty big radius when you have them all on. The problem is that identifying the marked enemy is just too hard. It's too hard to see it because the little effect over their head is just barely visible. And when you're playing Warframe with lots of, with the graphics turned up to the max, there's lots of visual effects happening, and there's lots of enemies, and they're all over the place. It's just too hard to find the marked enemy, so I stopped doing that. I'm not doing it anymore. But anyway, the real, the real, I guess, trick with Baruch is that he doesn't need that much power strength for any power strength really for his first two abilities. Elude and Lull, you don't need any power strength. You can have negative, so I'm at 40% power strength. Then his third ability is the, what is it, these Desolate Hands. I just subsumed Silence onto that, and I went with like lots of range and lots of duration, and this works really good. You don't need any power strength for any of these, and I think you see where this is going. The fourth ability does need power strength, and so we use Precision Intensify. Gives you 90% ability strength on your fourth ability, and only that one, and it just works really good. So now we're at like, what, 130% power strength on the fourth ability, and as usual, the Parazon has the power drain mod, so you can get up to like 180% power strength if you want. You could throw on the aura, I don't even remember what it's called anymore. Strength, growing power, and you'll have over 200% power strength if you want to when you turn on the fourth ability and punch enemies down. Actually, don't really use the fourth ability much, but anywho, Arcane Aegis, it's right there to help compensate for the low amount of health, and he's good. Yeah, he's good. You can just stand there. I've been playing him while doing the new game mode, which you saw at the beginning of the video, I think, or actually no, I didn't show it at the beginning of the video. It's where you farm for Jade. It's the Ascension game mode. You don't really need to kill anybody, so you can use him and just shut the enemies down. They won't hurt you. They won't really be able to do much to you anyway, and the Xmas won't be able to use their abilities, and you just shoot them, kill them, and it's really good for those game modes where you don't really care that much about how quickly you're taking the enemies down. It's mostly just like mobile defense or interception, stuff like that. All right, last one. Now we got to talk about Harrow, because Harrow's my guy. Harrow's like, I love Harrow. I play him a lot. Where is he? All right, so I don't really have too much to say about Harrow. I've spent so much time polishing my Harrow builds that there's really nothing that needs to change here. Whenever I come back to Warframe, the very first frame that I put anything new that I need to use into, I put it into Harrow, and I make him as like up to date with the newest stuff. Nothing needs to change with this build. You can take a snapshot of this, you can copy it. It's a freaking awesome build. He does insane damage. And a lot of people suggest to use, for Elite Deep Archimedia, use Warframes that are impossible to kill, like maybe an Aros or a Korvax, something like that, or use Warframes that don't need to have a good weapon, like Baruch, for example, with his fists and punching, or something like that. I've been taking Harrow in, and the thing is with Elite Deep Archimedia, you have 9 weapons to pick from, and usually there's going to be at least one weapon that goes good with Harrow. At least one. The thing I like about Harrow is that he can take almost anything and make it good. Almost anything. When the Grimoire came out, the very first book tomb that you can attack with, let me just pull it up here. Where's that Grimoire? Grimoire, that thing? It was disappointing for a lot of people. It's disappointing to me as well. But I put it with Harrow, and he can make this thing good. Like, he's just like rapid firing and doing massive right crits with it. It's awesome. But anyway, I did some testing recently just to go like, what really is a good weapon on him? Dual Tox Assist. Dual Tox Assist is overpowered on Harrow. It's crazy powerful. Recently I started playing around with the glaive, and then you can use whatever primary you want. I'm playing with Scourge Prime. You can tell I've been a Harrow main for a while. I've got 2 different Rivens for Scourge, depending upon which build I'm playing. But I've been playing around with this primary Obstruct. When you apply a magnetic status effect on an enemy, it just jams the guns of all the surrounding enemies. It just gives them really good crowd control. The crazy thing is, I'm going to show you something really cool here. I think that Primed Firestorm, this was added to the game after Harrow was added to the game. So when Harrow was added to the game, you could only have regular Firestorm, which, let me just take a look. The devs might nerf this, by the way, because I doubt it. I don't think they watch my videos anymore. Maybe they watch this. But I don't think this is intended. I'll show it to you now. It used to be only 24% blast radius, but now you can get like 44% blast radius with Prime Firestorm, which is pretty huge. And let's go ahead. I'm going to turn on invincibility, and we will make the enemies Steel Path. No, you won't turn on invincibility. I want you to actually see like how this works. All right, watch this. Watch them try to hit me. Well, do you hear the sounds of their guns? They're shooting themselves in the head. The bubble is so big, it actually wraps around the tip of the gun and causes them to not be able to shoot you at all. I don't think it was ever supposed to be like that. It's awesome. You can do that. You can shoot them, jam their guns. It does it in a big radius around them. It's great. All right, let's see if I can actually get Dual Tox Assist going here. I'll show you how ridiculous Dual Tox Assist is in Harrow's hands. Let's get a couple. All right. Is there more? It's insane. It's so good. Harrow's so good. He can use almost anything. You can take almost any gun you want and make it good with him. For a long while, I was using the Soma Incarnate. Soma Incarnate is also a really good choice of them, but really, comparing Soma Incarnate to Dual Tox Assist, Dual Tox Assist just wins. And I don't even have a Riven for it. I don't think it's even necessary. Maybe one day I'll get one. I think the Rivens for Dual Tox Assist are pretty expensive. That's why I don't have enough platinum really to spend on that. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so been getting back into Warframe lately. Been playing it. It's been great. I love this game. I love coming back to it every once in a while. And I hope that you got something from the video. If you got anything from the video, if I showed you anything that was cool, if you liked any of the builds, if you just like Warframe, hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It's good to see any engagement on the video. But yeah, that's it. That's all for this September 2024 monthly maintenance video for this YouTube channel. I am moving to a new place in 2 days. And after I move to that new place, I might actually stop using the whole blocking out the background thing. And I might have enough space to set up a proper green screen, or maybe even just like let the background be shown. So yeah, looking forward to it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.